Yo, what up? It's Benjamin D'Souza here, the Warlord, back with another classic. And I would like to speak about infiltration in the black manosphere and whatnot. I know BM1 has spoke about this. Shout out to him. But brothers need to be hyper vigilant and on guard against certain deleterious schools of thought that are being introduced into the conversation. Now, I was on a Game Changer 00100's panel last night, and I believe it was the BBT overflow, some of that. The Black Brain Trust overflow was a stream that was started off of a conversation that went on the Black Brain Trust. But anyway, this particular gentleman by the name of Judge Zilla gets on there and he's talking about, we're basically talking about the black community and whatnot and the woes and all this other stuff. And he makes the statement that, certain countries and whatnot made drastic changes overnight. And then he proceeded to name off countries like Russia, China, North Korea. Instantly, my antennas went up because what is the common denominator with all three of those countries? And how, by what means, what political means did they use to institute rapid change in those countries? If you concluded that the answer is communism, you are correct. So I put in the chat, like, is he talking about communism? And so then he proceeded to address me in the chat. And then the brother from Colombia, shout out to Marco Padre, I believe, brother Marco, he proceeded to hop on the panel and kind of suss that out and question him about that, because Marco, like myself, has seen, well, I haven't seen communism close up per se, but yeah, I'm close enough to it via my father being from Guyana. And when communism collapsed Venezuela, a lot of Venezuelan refugees tried to flood into Guyana. So, I know about it via that way. And then Marco being down there in Colombia, he being right next door to that shit, he's seen it. So then, old boy Zilla was like, no, I'm not talking about communism, Okay, all right, whatever. Later on, he started talking about a method called a commune, right? Or as he rephrased it, a co-opt, where groups of families get together and they pool their money together and provide for each other via housing and sustenance and businesses and whatnot. That's fine in theory, but if I were to really examine that statement in conjunction with the prior statement, which he basically alluded to communism, then I would have to conclude that he was talking about instituting a co-opt or a commune type of system for the black community, vis-a-vis trying to marshal in communism. And then he said, how would this, then he was asked the question, how would this be instituted? He said, by force. Now, that brings me to another point, because I see that there are other people in the black manosphere who now want to ride the wave of SYSBM. And just a year or so ago, these same individuals were talking about forcing marriage, forcing brothers to take on these single mothers, forcing these brothers at the point of a gun to carry the burden of another woman and her bastard children. Sound familiar? So, I got on later on in the panel and kind of questioned them about that, because I'm saying, listen, that whole co-op deal, that's cool if you're talking about, if you want to apply that with free market principles. If I myself come across another family, and we come across another family, and we come across another family, and we all vet each other, and we come together as individuals, as sovereign entities that can make our own decision and have our own agency, and we decide, hey, we can enter into a sort of a business, start our own credit union, yada, 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 and apply free market principles that way, then yeah, okay, I can see that working. But if you're talking about an outside force assigning me several families to co-op with, then no, sir, I'm against that. Just like I was against the same idea that was pushed forward a few years ago about brothers being forced to take on these single mothers. Same thing. It's called free market principles, nigga. If it ain't good for me, I don't want to be bothered with it. The whole thing just kind of, just listening to his ass kind of reminded me, you know what? I ain't gonna go into all that. And furthermore, because I'm hearing this a lot, and I heard this on Game Changers panel last night, and I've been hearing this a lot as of late. This whole, brothers are already going, brothers been going SYSBM for a while, so I mean, why do you guys need an acronym, and why do you guys just have to still talk about it, and why don't you just do it? Man, shut your bitch ass up, man. Straight up. It's gonna be SYSBM today, tomorrow, and the day after that. We're gonna keep talking our shit. We're gonna keep putting it in these motherfuckers' faces. And if you don't like it, so what? Carry your skunt. Who am I referring to that said that on Game Changers panel last night? The guy Complex Design. And then this dude brought forth a proposal of some sort of monasterial school and whatnot. I get it. I get it. A school, an institutional school. I through my studies, I concluded that the children who attended a monasterial school, had better aptitudes in reading, science, and math. They were in the first grade and they were reading at a third grade level. So the fuck what? That's still not addressing the main problem, the source of the problem, the whole reason for SYSBM. SYSBM was created because brothers wanted families, and all that we had to us were these scraggle daggles. What is scraggle daggledom? Scraggle daggledom is just a cool way of saying the matriarchy. So let's deal with that first. Let's reinstitute a patriarchy. Let's tell that bitch, get the fuck up out the chair. That's my chair. You sitting in it. Get the fuck out of it. And let's put the black man back on the throne and ruler of our families. Then we can talk about this monasterial school. I don't give a fuck about that. First and foremost, let's reinstitute the black man as the leader and the head of the family. Now, after that, if you want to intellectually masturbate and pontificate and shit about some monasterial school, I don't give a fuck. But it starts there first. It starts there first. Pro-patriarchy, anti-matriarchy. Pro-patriarchal women, anti-matriarchal women. That's where this conversation starts. Every time you motherfuckers try to obfuscate that core point, I'm going to be right here on your ass. Be right here. Every time you busters try to pop up and try to sprinkle in a little communism into this shit, I'm going to be right here on your ass. Straight up. Because I've seen that shit. I've studied it throughout history. How do you think the Black Panther Party fell? because they got introduced to some Marxists and some communist leanings, and they started handing out that red book, and before you know it, you had a group of totalitarian dictators who are dictating a lot of bullshit to his people, and then the shit got decentralized because motherfuckers at the bottom were getting shitted on by the few who were at the top. So no, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna keep it where it is. If you don't like us talking about SYSBM, so the fuck what? You can go talk about what the square root of pi is on your shit. Go talk about that shit over there. Well, I think the square root of pi is, 3.14 ... Man, the square root of pi is motherfucking 3.14. Fuck you. That's what that is. And you can divide that by go jump off a bridge, squared. But anyway, brothers, stay focused, man. Listen carefully to what some of these motherfuckers are saying. Remember the mission. The mission is reinstituting patriarchy and putting the black man back on the throne. But yeah, man, get up on that.